couple of you guys if you'd ever seen this horseshoe thing that Gary Keller has been talking about, and several had said they have not. So I thought today we were going to look at big picture, what Gary Keller predicts the real estate future is going to be like in 2020, 21, 22. Okay? So who has seen this? Okay, a few of you have. Who wants to explain this? Any of you guys want to explain this? Ooh, good. Okay, leave it to me. All right, so here we go. I want you guys to think about this as where we always have been in number one. This is what we call, Gary Keller calls the fourth industrial revolution. And in circle number one, that's where we all have been for the last 30 years. Ever since we know real estate, we have been working with, well, actually when I started real estate, I started pre-computers. I had the MLS books. And I had to run to a payphone because my pager went off. Woo, that's how old I am. All right, so, but then we got hardware, and then we got software, and then we became really cool with cloud-based technology, what we know as the internet. That's where we are today, okay? What he says, he's looking into the future, and he said this is where we're moving at a very fast pace. So think about if you were a taxi driver 5 years ago, all right? What has happened to the taxi driver? Uber and Lyft, right? Are there really any taxi companies left?
In Vegas?
Very few, right? There are still a few, but think about probably 95% of taxi drivers are now Uber and Lyft drivers, right? Probably 99%.
So it's the same thing though.
It's the same thing what?
They're still taxi drivers.
Right, but they are not working for a company. They're working for their independent contractor for Uber and Lyft and whatever else, Hitch. I just learned there's a Hitch. Okay. Think about travel agents. 10 years ago, if you wanted to go traveling somewhere, you would call a travel agent. Now what do?
Expedia.
Expedia, I mean, whatever, right? So technology really took over the travel agency business. However, are there still travel agents?
Yes.
Yes. Why would you want to go through a travel agent now?
You hate money and you want to give it away.
No, I love travel agents. You want the convenience, so you don't have to think about it.
Okay.
And if you want to cancel, they don't charge you like
Okay.
anybody else.
So there's benefits currently, correct? Or if you want to go watch Serengeti and you know travel this amazing, go to Africa and do this amazing. I wouldn't do that on my own. I would contact a travel agent because they know the best tours, all of those things, right? So there's still a niche, but has it gone from here to here?
Yes.
Absolutely. Why? Because technology took over, all right? So, not to get you guys worried, because Gary Keller says, we're not going to be cut out like the taxi drivers, like the travel agents at all. However, we need to be really aware of what's coming at us at a warp speed. So what this means is, all of these people right here are living in this number one circle. What's happening is we added on, you see the yellow, AI and big data. When you have big data and you have artificial intelligence, that's when things change drastically. i.e., Amazon introduced who? Alexa. Google introduced who?
Google Assistant.
Google Assistant. Before that, Google Voice. Okay. We have Siri, right? So that's artificial intelligence. Alexa and Siri. When they came out, were they perfect?
Nope.
Are they perfect now?
Nope.
No.
So Keller Williams has what? Is it perfect?
Nope.
Josh team said we can be fast or we can be perfect. Amazon, Google, Keller Williams, they chose to be fast and not perfect. Why is that?
Fix it on the run.
You can't catch up if you're behind.
You can't catch up if you're behind. You can fix it on a run, you said?
On the run.
On the run, all right? Here's what happened, guys. You have to have big data in order to even get artificial intelligence in place. Let's talk about big data. Who has big data when we're talking about real estate?
Agents.
Somebody said Zillow. Is that true?
No,
They get the data from us, so.
MLS has big
Collecting-
data.
They've been collecting data from us for years, and now they're using it.
Well, they have pieces of data. They have what's public record.
Correct. They have some data, yes. Who has more data about real estate than Zillow?
Agents.
What'd you say?
Agents, we do.
Contracts and client contact info and
Insurance and appraisal.
sometimes, and ages of our clients,
Alright.
anniversary dates.
Why does Keller Williams have the big data?
So we have a-
Cloud system, they have the more system, have a cloud system.
Hey, you are so stinking smart. Because we have the Winmore system, and what does the Winmore system, what for years has that done for us?
Kept data.
Data from all our offices every month.
From all of our offices, why did we do that? Profit sharing, guys. We've got the big data because back in the early 90s, we decided we were gonna be profit sharing. So this is a fluke. This is an absolute gift that we have the data. And as Gary explains to it, what we have is, look at this room. We have files and files and files of all these closings throughout the last 25, 30 years. Right? Does Berkshire Hathaway, does Coldwell Banker, does Remax, do they have that?
No.
They don't, their offices don't even talk to each other, let alone talk to corporate. Not a bad thing, it's just how it was, right? We chose to profit share, so we had to have this Winmore system, okay, and you're absolutely right, that collected the data. So by fluke, by chance, we've got the data. And then we have this genius called Gary Keller, who realized that what we had was an absolute gold mine, and if we didn't do something with it, we were going to be a taxi service that was out of business. Because who's coming at it with as much data as they possibly can collect in the last couple of
Zillow.
years? Zillow. So here we are, we have the big data. None of these other brokerages have it. None of them. As much as they say they do, they don't. So Gary, who is, by the way, Google is in Keller Williams International every single week, working hand in hand with us and the team, right? And so Gary said, how long would it take a company to build an artificial intelligence type of system? And they said, if they have the data, 2 years minimum. But they don't have the data. So Gary said, all right, so we've got the data, but it's a big mess. We don't have it organized at all. So what do we need to do? And that's when 3 years ago, he announced we were a tech company. Why did he announce we were a tech company?
So we get the best technology people.
Bam. Yep. So Inman could slash him and throw him against the walls, and everyone could laugh at him, and he said, yeah, laugh all you want. But if I'm a tech guru, am I gonna wanna work with a real estate company called Keller Williams, or am I gonna wanna work with a Google or a Facebook or a tech company? I'm gonna wanna work for a tech company, right? So he said, we're a tech company. Y'all can laugh. He didn't say it for us. He said it for the tech people. And so for the last 3 years, he's been hiring all of these amazing tech people. What's really cool is when we look at this slide, we know that we're all moving into the number 2 position. Who do you think is in number 2 position? Here's our next screen. We can have all the data in the world, but if we don't have it organized, it's just data, right? So we are, I'm not even gonna draw this, but there was a time we just had agents, and then we went into agent is fiduciary, and that's where we are today. That's where Keller Williams is, that's where Berkshire, Century 21 Co-op, we're all in this platform, right? And then we have the tech is a fiduciary. Well, where the tech is a fiduciary, that's where we have the Zillow, the Trulia, the Redfin, the Open Door, all of those, right? They're the ones that actually are the fiduciary in the transaction. Yeah, we can take purple bricks off now, right? See ya. By the way, are any of these guys making money? They've all lost money. Every single one of these companies has lost money in the last however many years. All right? So why is Zillow dumping money into it?
They wanna be first, they wanna get market share, they wanna get followed.
They wanna be the fast, right? They wanna be fast, not perfect. Why does Keller Williams wanna be fast, not perfect? Because there's only 2 companies, guys, only 2 that are positioned right in the number 2 spot. It's Zillow and KW. Now, you see this? He actually believes that in the next couple years, there will only be a very few amount of big names in the real estate game. And he's positioning it that KW is one of those few. Zillow is a close one. And he's still holding his breath on Zillow. They don't scare him, but he knows that they're a fierce competitor, but they don't have the data. Anyone learn anything? What is that? What is this telling you?
Stop complaining about things not working.
Will, I couldn't kiss you anymore.
Let's throw another kiss at him.
What does this tell you about the company that you're with?
We're in the right spot.
They have our back.
We're actually in the right spot. They have our back. And yeah, Will, stop bitching about it not working. Okay?
And she didn't mean that, so we all.
No, I didn't. I didn't. They know it doesn't work great, guys. They know that. They know that when you go to Julie's class and on command and this is how it's supposed to work and all of a sudden it doesn't work. They know that.
Can I say something?
Yes.
So I was in the command class and so I helped with KWYP, I helped kind of beta test certain systems within command and it was so bad, like I was like, I can't do this, like it wasn't even worth my time. And then I started coming to the classes and it is 100 times better than when it was when I first started. And we actually came into a problem last time, and I was like, why can't you add a spouse within a contact? You guys are in there, you know what I'm talking about. You need to be able to add a spouse to be able to have it interconnected. And you couldn't do that. You would have to exit out of that contact, go make the spouse's contact, and then link them together. I put it in the support system, wherever. The next day, it was fixed, and you could add a spouse. They didn't respond to me, they didn't say anything, all of a sudden I could do it.
It's done.
So like, they're listening, they're not talking to us,
Yeah.
but they're listening to all those little inquiries, and the fact that it was done within 24 hours was pretty
And
insane.
every concern that you guys have is a concern somebody else has too. So the more often that you submit feedback to it, the more people that are doing the same thing over and over, the faster they're gonna get to things.
The faster it can fail, the faster it's gonna move forward. I mean, that's just the end of the day. Like, if we're not using it and showing what its quirks are and where it's failing, they're never gonna know. And the support people are dang good too. Like, I was talking with somebody, must have been Monday night or something. Like, I was waiting for a while. I thought they must have been closed for the day. Nope, they are working like
Nonstop.
crazy over there. And it was later in the day. Like, I figured they were on Texas time, so I thought they'd closed earlier than I was ready to be done working. But nope, they're still in there. They're like, we have like an email thread going back and forth now that's just like never ending of just stuff that I'm working on and whatever. And they're amazing.
It's really cool. And I think they had over 20 updates last week alone, right? And they don't tell you, hey, we made this update.
Actually, inside of Command, if you go and look at the right side when you come in, they're now showing you, hey, we have updated this. Hey, if you go into campaigns, you can now do this. So they are starting a thread of you could go for a long time. But they are starting to update us to tell us what's.
So I told Julie, 15 minutes every day. What's your job?
Go research updates and bring them back to you guys.
Yep. So we'll continue this conversation next month on how we need to retrain our clients, get them off of Zillow and get them on our platform. Here's the deal. They know we don't want to release our platform, our current app to our clients now because it stinks. They say that. Yeah, it's old. It's not the one that's going to be released. The one that's going to be released, the whole new consumer app, is going to be flat out amazing. The challenge is, how do we get people off of Zillow platform onto ours? That's the big challenge, right? So I think next month we're going to mastermind that. But let's show this video real quick so you guys can see what's coming.
The real estate transaction is actually a very complex transaction from start to finish. It requires a whole lot of moving parts. From finding their home or searching for a home, to actually negotiating through contracts, to negotiating through repairs, negotiating with a lender, getting a clear to close from that lender, and finally going to the closing table.
What's so exciting about what's coming in this world today is a thing called the fourth industrial revolution. And what an industrial revolution is, a piece of technology changes the way our world works. And in the past, it's been something like a steam engine. So these technologies shift the way the world works, and it shift the way we connect with people.
The real estate transaction is evolving greatly. Most all buyers and sellers are beginning their process online right now. They have a framework of what they want to do, how soon they want to achieve it.
At the end of the day, technology should enhance the consumer experience. We should have a curative approach where we're actually able to learn more about our client utilizing technology. That's what Gary Keller and Keller Williams is all about.
Keller Williams' new technology and consumer app is bringing the best of both worlds to real estate agents and the consumer.
When you get on Zillow, you're just shopping at random. Zillow is not intuitive in any way, shape, or form. But as you use the Kelly app and the Keller Williams Realty technology, we're going to be able to recommend what your next home will be. You like this home? I think you might like this home better. You like these floors? You gotta see this kitchen. You love this living room? Check out this view. That's the difference between Keller Williams Realty and Zillow.
Spencer Raskoff, the CEO of Zillow, has done a very good job on the consumer search portion of the real estate business. But here's what people need to think about. His first business that he actually bought and sold was a business that helped put travel agents out of business. What he did is he recognized they weren't providing value. And so he just said, you know what, let's let technology get in here and provide a better experience for the consumer. The difference is that Gary Keller understands realtors, understands the consumer experience, and understands the value that realtors provide. Whereas I think in Zillow's case, what they look at is that the realtor is actually just in the way.
So the tech-enabled agent with Keller Williams is actually going to be a fantastic asset to their client. The agent and the client are going to be able to integrate better, communicate better. One of the biggest complaints that NAR gets for real estate agents is a lack of communication with the client. With those two client and agent platforms that Keller Williams has developed, that communication will be almost seamless and constant.
The other traditional brokerages have totally missed the boat. They've been left behind. They are not enabled with their technology like they could be and they should have been because they have missed the mark.
To me, the future for Keller Williams is nothing but big and bright. There is no real estate company that's going to compete with the technology that Gary has created to be able to enable us to be the best to the consumer as well as the best in our industry.
Agents need to stop kidding themselves that change is upon us. It's happening. If you don't get on board as a real estate agent now, and you don't get prepared for the shift in this fourth industrial revolution, you're going to find yourself behind the curve, not just with having the tools, but understanding them and using them.
At the end of the day, this is about Keller Williams versus Zillow. You want to bet on Keller Williams.
All right. Can I get a couple of ahas from that video?
Just always love seeing what they're like coming up with and all of the things that they're doing.
We have, I loved it that he said it's Keller Williams against Zillow. I bet on Gary. I would too. Any other ahas?
Zillow is not intuitive.
Zillow is not intuitive. Zillow is a great search engine for consumers. It's what they have right now, right? But it's not intuitive at all. And in fact, the consumer app is gonna be so intuitive that, let's say you have a client that bought their home a year ago, and the app is gonna say to the client, we can refinance your home and save you $50 at no cost. Would you like to do that? Make you go, yeah, sure. All of a sudden it's done.
So what I got also, if we as agents understand the technology that is being given to us by Keller Williams and educate our clients, we definitely gonna be able to stay ahead and win the technology revolution as far as like the real estate business goes. Because now our clients, they start using the technology, they start learning about it too through us, and then it helps us stay connected and continue to grow our business. That was my big aha from the video.
And we remain the fiduciaries. That's huge. All right, awesome. We'll continue next month on this.